So in this video, I'm going to go over how they're giving us impossible questions and how they're playing games purposely getting us hurt. So I called two agencies. Both really have hurt me before. They've run me all around and then denied help. Like they were supposed to help me with cash benefits, social security, stuff like that. But then I got callbacks from the Social Security and cash benefits people telling me that they filed the paperwork at the wrong time, so I wasn't going to have to wait 2 more months. Then they filed the paperwork wrong again, or they weren't informing or calling me, even though I was calling all the time, going down every Tuesday. They even wouldn't work with me on the mail. I'll go down because my mail goes to them because we have the mailman delivering at the different buildings, and these are time sensitive. You only get 7 days, and sometimes your neighbors don't want to bring it to you right away. So I end up going straight down there to get it. None of that matters, though, because they don't want to help us. It's that simple. No matter how much we go down, no matter how much we work, no matter what we do, they're going to continue to do two different things. They're going to play games, and they're going to ask impossible questions so we go nowhere. And they did this yesterday. And I'm going to give the impossible question. So, we have been hospitalized multiple times. We are getting so sick, and it doesn't take any rocket scientist to figure it out. Every single person that's looked at the evidence has said that's going to kill you. Doesn't take anybody to tell. Because I'm not going to run around showing you all of them, but our windows are like that. And that's just one of them. I'm so hurt, I have to cook on the floor. And I barely can get out of my bed. We also have the rooms quarantined because there's mold getting everything sick. There was a disabled 50-year-old man getting sick. He had to turn the heat on 90 and open 3 windows in the small room. I no longer can ride a bike at all. Haven't rode a bike in 3 years. Can't. And my job has been affected to the point where I can't even stand up at work anymore. So we got all that going on. And I've gone to the state for about 4 years now, so is my roommate. But keep in mind, they ask impossible questions on purpose. They play games, and then if you try to give them the information, they interrupt you and just say they want a yes or a no. But both yes and no would be wrong, and they know that. Okay, so yesterday I called them for help. Me, Zach called them for help, and they said they would call Zach back. When they called me back, they asked for a David. Then they tried to ignore me. Then they tried to get him ahead of me. Then they ended up trying to ask impossible questions. Then they didn't want to get any of my information. Then David can't actually have any of these conversations because he's sick and he doesn't know how to answer these impossible questions. That's why they want to speak to him, because they know he can't answer these questions or he'll give the wrong information as long as you ask impossible questions. Now, here was the question. So we told them that we had bed bugs and mold in those rooms, as well as ladybugs and stink bugs. We told them about the windows. So when I hand the phone to David, you know what they ask? Hey, do you got fleas in the bedrooms? Do you got fleas, bed bugs, and mold in the bedrooms? Now, if he answers yes, he's wrong, because the fleas we don't have. We've never had any fleas. But the other building does, and the landlord's allowing animals who have these fleas to wander around the hallways. So I've been forced to close the doors and get these animals treatments at the vet. They can't come in my place. I don't want any damn fleas. And thank God we never had them, because I can't deal with any more of these bugs, mold, and infestations. We have enough already. But because of that, he can't answer yes or no. If he answers no, well, that would be wrong. We do have bed bugs and mold. We have those 2 rooms infested, and we've already given the landlord money for. And we have all our windows getting us sick. So he can't say no. But he also can't say yes either, because we don't have any fleas. So there's no answer to that, and they know that. They heard me. They heard me say that the other building next door has fleas, and the landlord's allowing animals to wander around from other people's apartments from building next, another building. I know this for a fact because I work with the vets to get these animals healthy. And then I have to throw away the clothes in the dumpster and sand my body down in the shower. Now, she fully understood this, but yet she's asking a senile, dizzy old man who has trouble speaking, has trouble figuring this stuff out, an impossible question on purpose. So I slid across on my roll chair, my wheelchair, I guess you would call it, as fast as I could, and I took over. She got mad because she didn't get the impossible question answer that she wanted. And then she insulted me by saying, "Well, you're awfully quick all of a sudden. What, is your disabilities cured?" No, I used a wheelchair, and you could hear the wheels. I know you can hear the wheels on speaker. I said, "You're very disrespectful." I said, "Number two is that's an impossible question, and you know that." And she knew that. She did. That was an impossible question. Now, I didn't say it like that. I did say the first part about the wheelchair, though. I did say, you can hear the wheelchair moving across, and that's completely disrespectful to say. You're over the phone. Oh, that noise. And all I'm trying to do is get help so we don't die, and then they don't move in another child. Oh yeah, by the way, before I moved in, that had no foam in it. There was no protection. Water was just going in and mold was everywhere. And this crayon in that room from a child drawing on the wall. The maintenance never did this apartment when we moved in, so there was a hole in a door, a moldy rag under the sink, moldy walls on the under the sink, moldy holes in the window, crayon on the walls, everything. Nothing got redone. So I know exactly who was living here before us: a smoker and a child. And I guarantee you, if they stayed at least 2 years in this apartment, that they felt something affecting them. And so I want help. One, so I don't have to die or get sick. Two, because I have pre-existing conditions that I need to take care of and I can't in this condition. And while I'm out of work, I'm just going to have to die in the woods if I lose this place. Three, because I don't want anybody else to get hurt. Maybe you guys, maybe the rest of the world doesn't mind hurting children in this way. I mean, if they don't mind hurting me, a 31-year-old, that's one thing. If they don't mind hurting an 83-year-old old man who's done his time and been in the military, that's one thing. But come on, now you're going to allow children to get hurt again? Why doesn't somebody help us? And that way, they can't put a child in here after. Or maybe all life is important. Maybe we should be working together, so maybe we all have better lives, seeing as that everybody who's at least making less than $200,000 a year is seeing struggles. There's no way that you have seen what was going on in the 90s, 70s, 60s, 50s, and you think what's going on today is okay. And don't think it's for any stupid reason like we don't have money or we don't have goods or we don't. No. Just look at the charts. Just do your research and don't watch the TV. Don't listen to Fox News. Don't listen to the news channels. Just do your research. Listen to the history books. Listen to the declassified documents. Listen to what you can find that's actually released. Not on the TV, like what can be researched and looked into, like charts, graphs. How much did money was actually put into the economy this year? How much were taxes 20 years ago? Are we making more goods today or less goods today? We're actually making more goods. Pretty much as a straight line since 1930. The economy has crashed lately or been kind of screwed up, but the goods we produce have been better than ever. We have produced more and more goods all the way up. We've never stopped making more goods. Not just that, we actually are one of the biggest oil producers and sellers in the world. You can just look at the charts for that. And then people like me have to go suffer and die before they make 40 without making any choices of their own to do so. I mean, I was crippled and screwed up before I was 19. It was less apparent, but you better believe it. I mean, there was a lot of shit. I fell a lot of times. There was a lot of stuff going on. Plus, I couldn't even graduate high school because I couldn't write. My hand would shake so much I had to slow down, then the word couldn't be written. I'm 18 years old taking an MCAS test with a dragon in a special ed school, but it doesn't have to be that way. There's medication to help me. It's just nobody wants to. I don't even have to be like this. It shakes from a neurological disorder. And now they've just let so much more happen. Now I have PTSD and anxiety from what the state allowed to happen to me. And on top of that, then they allowed me to get poisoned over and over with full bottles of Ipecac meds I wasn't prescribed, overdose at age 7. My body was screwed up before I was 10 years old. And nobody's ever come to help me. They've always just moved me around. And watch, they're going to do the same thing here in Rochester. They're about to cripple me more and then send me someplace else, and I have to restart for another 8 years, what I won't make. I won't live past this one. And just watch, the doctors, the city of Rochester, my landlord, they don't care how much money I've given them. They don't care how hard I work. And they have no problem discriminating against my disabilities. Like, I would bet you that the landlord says that he can do whatever he wants because I can't write him a letter. This is why I spent a whole 3-4 days, almost a week, with 3 other individuals, me and 3 people, all to write one letter. All of us disabled individuals. We got an 83-year-old senile, me shaking with my hand, barely able to keep up, and we got Gary, whose wife is in a wheelchair, and he's an elderly old man who can barely walk. And all 3 of us are just trying to do a letter so 2 of us can get help. Why are we being forced to do this letter? Because the places we go to send us around back and forth. They play games with us because they know we're disabled. They don't want to give us the help. They know we can't fill out certain things. They know we can't walk, so they use that against us. Meanwhile, our doctors, they just want an easy job, so they don't write paperwork so we can get wheelchairs. They don't try to help us. They don't get a test ran. I just asked for a CT because my urine is black, my kidneys are swollen, and my GI is swollen, and they say it's unnecessary. Meanwhile, they couldn't get even 1 done last time. It was necessary, and they made me run 3 of them last time. So first they have a man crawling through the town 3 times in a row to do 1 CT scan. Meanwhile, now, 6 months later, I'm worse than ever. I can't even walk for more than 3 minutes. I'm really, really bad. Actually, today the swelling came back now. It wasn't really bad when I first woke up, but I've already stood up 2 times, and oh boy, is it swelling now. But none of that matters, because it's too hard for the doctors to do their jobs. They want a gas station job, and they want to get paid like a doctor. That's what they really want. They want a secretarial job, but they want to get paid like a doctor. And that's what the real problem with the doctors. But there's much more to that than that. We also had my mother lying for 15 years. You had me drinking from age 19 to 23, and I totally didn't trust any doctors at that point. And then at 23, I moved to New Hampshire, and I've done everything. I've decided I'm just going to listen to exactly what the doctors tell me to do. And of course, that got me really hurt. But I'm still trying to do my best, and every time the doctors send me to do something that's going to get me hurt, I tell them, you realize that's going to get me hurt. Then they say, how? And then I got to explain myself over and over and over. Well, you're sending a man who just said he can't walk. I fall down. You want me to crawl on the cement or call an ambulance. So I'll call an ambulance. Then the ambulance driver says there's a problem with the doctor, or they inject me with Ativan, and then the doctor says, tell the ambulances to stop injecting you until you get in the hospital because we want to see the seizures too. So there's always something with these people. The doctor tells me to tell the ambulance to stop injecting me until I'm seen. But then the ambulance says they don't have to listen, and then the ambulance won't bring me to my doctor anymore. They only bring me to the other one, what I can't go to. So there's just one problem after another, and I just go, they're just sending me everywhere. Okay, go over there. Nope. 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 And then I hear, no, they were legally supposed to help you. No, they were supposed to help you. No, they were supposed to help you. No, they were supposed to help you. No, you're supposed to help you. No, you should be on Social Security. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I want to cry for you. Oh my God. Well, you're bleeding. Oh my God. How is your testicles filled with blood? Oh my God. Your urine's black. Oh my God. You're on the ground bleeding. Oh my God. That's all I hear all the time. Well, I'm bleeding unconscious or something. And then I hear from the doctors, you're fine. You're fine. But you haven't seen me in a year, and I'm trying to get a 15-minute appointment with you. If you see me, you guys need help. You guys need help. Now I can't even get to the appointments. You guys are really, really hurting me. And what's even worse is the people that were supposed to be helping me, that's the doctors, the state, and my parents, are the ones that did the most damage to me. And that's the worst. No orphan or nobody that has no parents should go in this. And that's what happened. I was born with no, well, actually, I was born to a 15-year-old mother, and I was taken away from her. Well, she made a good decision to put me up at that age. There should have been programs for her, but there's not. But the problem is that I had no parents and nobody looking out for me but the state of Massachusetts. And the state of Massachusetts was already letting me get double doses of pills right before I go into foster care. So then when I hit foster care, oh my God, things go all right in the beginning, but by the time I meet this family, oh my God, I'm screwed up. I'm pretty sure that's why they actually adopted me too. Because I'm pretty sure I was adopted afterwards, and also my mother drugged me for the adoption, so maybe she thought I would speak up about what happened. So she gave me some Benadryl or some opiates right before we went in the car. Because also during my adoption, or one part of the adoption, this is right before we went to the party, the adoption party, we went to some place with a wooden bench with a bunch of authority figures, but I was passed out on the wooden bench, so all I remember is the grain in the wooden bench. It was a polished wood grain similar to a church grain. And I remember the car ride passing out too, because the pills were making me so drowsy. But the worst part about it is afterwards, they did a party for me, and every single person at the party, well, not everybody, but at least 5 people at the party came up and asked me what was wrong, why am I sad, why am I depressed, what's wrong. And I said, nothing's wrong, I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm fine, I'm happy. And I was happy, but I also was extremely drugged and tired and was looking for a spot on the ground to fall asleep. Eventually, my legs got too weak, and I had to sit down in a chair the whole time, just staring at some presents. And then I really wanted to fall asleep. I couldn't be excited about the presents because all I wanted to do was find a good spot to sleep, thanks to my mother giving me some pills again. So I've had to go through this for 25 years. I would like some basic help and services, but I'm being denied them because they like to play games and they want an easy job. So I would like some help, but I cannot write anymore, I cannot walk anymore, and pretty soon I might lose the ability to speak. So if any attorneys or anybody, the board of medicine, or anybody wants to help me, I would much appreciate it.